Hi, I'm Martin Remboys, Head of Development and Community Engagement at PTFS Europe. And what's on my mind this week is how can you best stay in touch with what's happening in the Koha community? A couple of weeks ago, Jonathan Field talked about why is a bug called a bug? And it got me thinking again about the rich data in our community Bugzilla. Bugzilla is a great tool, bursting at the seams with information about the work going on, but I'll be the first to admit it's not always that easy to navigate, and it doesn't have a good, at-a-glance view of the community's health. For that, I'd like to focus on the dashboard, a tool we've built on top of Bugzilla to help showcase progress and highlight community needs. The dashboard relies on status and severity fields in Bugzilla to construct its various views and lists, and so I think it's helpful to recap how code gets into Koha. On screen now, you should see a page from the community wiki that summarizes our process. A bug or enhancement is submitted by a bug reporter. Then a patch is written and submitted by a developer. Bug status is changed to need sign-off. The patch is tested and signed off by a patch tester. That could be you, and the bug status is changed to signed off. The patch is then checked by a quality assurance team member, and hopefully the bug status is updated to pass QA. The patch is then tested again and signed off by the release manager, who will push it to the current development branch of Koha, marking it as push to main. We then have release maintainers, who are each in charge of looking after the current stable versions of Koha, stable, hold stable, and long-term support. They'll make a judgment call as to whether the bug applies to their version, and they'll either mark as push to stable or resolved fixed if they don't think it's applicable. Finally, when a release is made, the bugs that were included in it are all marked as closed. And now a little sneak peek behind the scenes of Bugzilla. This page shows how the process translates to Bugzilla statuses. It's a fairly complicated looking matrix, but really it just shows how one status can go to another status in the process. I also said we use the severity to help with our dashboards. So this is a new bug screen in Bugzilla, and it shows that the severity can be picked, and it ranges from blocker to all the way down to new feature. Finally, let's actually look at the dashboard itself. If you navigate to dashboard.koha-community.org, you'll reach our landing page. Let's go through it, one section at a time. At the top, you'll have the activity graph, giving you an at-a-glance activity by day. You can see we're a little quieter on the weekends, as highlighted by the lower bars on the January 25th and 26th. Next to the activity area, we have the continuous integration results. These are our last line of defense tests that run with each merge of code into the development branches. Thankfully, they're mostly green today, which means the QA team, release manager, and release maintainers have all been doing a great job. Below this, we have the to-do and progress lists. These are grouped by those statuses we were talking about earlier, and then ordered by severity from blocker to new feature, and then finally ordered on date, most recently active first. You can hover over any bug to see a few more details, like who's working on it and what module it affects. Clicking a bug will open the appropriate Bugzilla page in a new window to give you all of the gory details. What do the symbols mean? So we've got a little key for the symbols in terms of severity, blocker, critical, major, normal, minor, and trivial, all denoting bugs, and then enhancements and new features denoting new and exciting changes that have been requested. The astute of you might have noticed the little crown. This is a release manager priority, and it's a keyword that can also be added by certain people in using Bugzilla. We have a release notes needed symbol, and finally a roadmap project symbol to highlight things that are on the roadmap. So where can you help? So the needs triage columns and the needs sign-off columns are probably the ones you're going to be most interested in. Needs triage is filled with bugs that have been reported but not yet confirmed, so they're new or unconfirmed in Bugzilla. What would really help is having people confirm that those should be priorities, that they're bugs that actually affect more than one person, or an enhancement that more than one group of people are interested in having developed. Once that's happened, a developer should be able to come in and start to work on patches. Those are listed in the Needs Patches field queue. This is where you then next step in. Once a bug had code submitted, it moves to Needs Sign-Off. Anybody in community can sign off a bug. It just needs a little testing. And we've got great resources for how to test, including the public sandboxes, where you can apply a bug, test that it's working, and then mark it as signed off, all from the comfort of one set of screens. Did you know that you've also got your own page on the dashboard? If you navigate to the top right of the page, you'll find a Find Your Dashboard search box. If you type in your name, you should be able to find your own dashboard. I'm going to take a look at Andrew Wald's. As you can see, Andrew has reported a few bugs and has a nice little summary of which ones are changing there. All of the ones marked in bold show that there's been activity since he last visited, or that he wasn't the last person to add a comment or change anything there. Andrew also has added himself as a CC to a number of bugs on Bugzilla, and you can see this list on the right under Other Bugs. So you can see the various state of the different bugs he's decided that he's interested in watching. You can also have a watch for some of your favourite developers in Koha. I'm now looking at Pedro's page. He's one of our developers, and you can see that he's got a few bugs that he needs to pay a little bit of attention to, but he's got a few more rows on his page. He's got the bugs that he's reported, but he's also got 2 more columns in his table, a needs work waiting column. Needs work highlights bugs that are in different states that need a bit of his attention to move to the next stages. So the needs release notes means that he's had something pushed that he could do with updating a field in Bugzilla so that our release notes are nicely populated. Patch doesn't apply means someone's come and tried to test a bug that he's submitted, and the code isn't working as expected at the moment, or doesn't apply to the branch, so he needs to do a rebase. Unfortunately, he's got something in the failed QA queue, so he needs to go and check out what comments have been left on that bug and see what he needs to do to resolve them. He's then got a few that are assigned, so they're bugs that he's grabbed but hasn't yet submitted code to. He's also got a list of the waiting bugs. These are the ones that he might quite like you to step in and have a look at. The needs sign-off, for instance. He's submitted code to allow for a history check workflow stage in interlibrary loans, and he'd love for someone to test that and mark it as signed off. Then you can see that there's needs QA, and he needs someone from the QA team to come along and give that a good look. Finally, he should be quite happy he's got a number of bugs in the ready to push column. So that's just waiting on the release manager to do her final checks before pushing them into the development branch and then release. He's also got a few more bugs in the other bugs area, some of which in this case are claimed QA because Pedro's on the QA team and he's got a few bugs that he's looking at progressing through QA. I think that's everything I wanted to do today, so thank you for listening.